Oi, oi. It's Friday the 22nd of September. Just about to finish the last week of training before I taper next week, before the world record attempt starts a week tomorrow actually, of trying to complete 31 marathons in 31 days to set a new Guinness World Record to raise money for an amazing charity, which is the Motor Neurone Disease Association. I'm not sure many people know, but when I first started this endeavour back in February, my original ambition, firstly, was to row an ocean, not on a rowing machine. And secondly, when I was going to do it for charity, I was doing it to raise money for the MNDA in memory of my wife's uncle, Graham. And that was the original plan. Absolute legend of a man, struggled with a terrible disease, but did it with such grace. And between now and then, unfortunately, my own mum was diagnosed with ALS, motor neurone disease, about 2 or 3 months ago. So rather than this necessarily being in memory, or just being in memory of someone, this endeavour is entirely dedicated to my mum, who is, and anyone that knows her, one of the most beautiful, brilliant, amazing, incredible people you could ever hope to meet. I think in terms of strength and positivity in the face of something that for other people will be quite crippling, is just amazing. And I owe so much of who I am to my mum. She is my spiritual guide, and so many brilliant memories that we have and are still yet to have. Are absolutely down to my mum, and she is a legend. And together, as we have done all of my life, been on this journey together, regardless of what comes, we will be on the journey together, and every single moment is incredibly precious. And my mum reminds me that every single day, and I love you, mum, so much. So this evening, anyways, I'm going to be doing a kind of, I'm going to do a 100k row. So one of the things I'm really nervous about is doing the marathons back to back to back. So I wanted to do a really long row to try and help to kind of stretch. I think David Goggins called it callous your mind. So really stretch how much resilience I've got and how I can cope. And then when I get on with the marathons, the fact that I've done 100k, which is about 2.5 times, will I think make a big difference to how I feel. So I was going to do it tomorrow morning, but I was getting too excited and too stressed about it. So I figured I would just go and do it in about 20 minutes. I think it's going to take me about 9 or 10 hours, I reckon. I'll probably burn about 4,000 calories, but I've got a strategy this time. So I'm going to row for I'm going to row for an hour, and every hour I'm going to have 5-minute rest. And that enables me to give my ass a break for a short period of time, whilst I have some food. In terms of how does Ken Skelton, as ever, prepare for a 100,000 metre row, you can imagine the level of sophistication that goes into my nutrition knows absolutely no bounds. So we've got 2 litres of coconut water, we've got 2 litres of Coca-Cola, we've got some plain flatbreads and peanut butter, we've got 1, 2, 3 litres of my extra special smoothie mix, which, if you want to know, contains a can of nourishment, some avocado, some acai berries, we've got blueberries, we've got strawberries, kefir, I think, is like a form of yogurt, frozen yogurt, that goes in. We've got some chia seeds, some flax seeds, etc. And all that gets chucked in and blended. And to be honest, it doesn't taste too bad if you see it as fuel. We've also got some Snickers treats. We've got 4 rounds of my favourite ham, cheese and mustard on some wonderful seeded bread, 2 bags of crisps, 4 egg custard tarts, And last but by no means least, my dear, dear friend David Price once showed me the power of confectionery when it comes to long distance endurance exercises. So I have some wine gums to go in the pack. So they're going to go in. And then we're going to go. So I'm about to set off and do it. I've got absolutely no idea if I'm going to do it. I'm hopeful that I will, which is great. Hopefully, if ever anything does go wrong with the marathon when I get started, then this is kind of at least something worthy of sponsorship to get started. So far, we've had about £1,200 worth of sponsorship for the Motor Neurone Disease Association. So for everyone that has sponsored, genuinely thank you so much. It means a great deal. As I mentioned before about my mum, it's the Motor Neurone Disease Association that have recently been out and recorded a voice, which will enable mum as we move forward to be able to talk regardless of how she's feeling at any one moment in time. So it's a really important charity. The Just Giving link is in the copy somewhere around wherever this video is physically being shown. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you very much, everybody, for everything. My dear mum, I love you to bits. And I'll see you on the other side of a 100k row.